Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple. This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
Coming soon, the new wave of hydration and energy drink HIQ. This new product is all natural with no caffeine and gives you a major boost of hydration and energy. No twitching effect or crashing like the old energy drinks. You can visit our website at www.liquidhiq.com or Twitter at HiQ2015 to learn more about this amazing energy drink. What is your level?
Live your life and just let go. If you try, then you will know.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.
Wednesday night, April 8th. Oh, we got a great show for you. It's episode 3. 3 times a charm. This is a simulcast of CRN podcasts of Red Clay Life and Full Throttle. Wesley Outland here with you. Hope everybody is doing well amongst everything going on in the world. And we are ready to talk motorsports. The dirt slinging action of modifieds, late models, dirt, sprint cars, and more. And, of course, also NASCAR talk and pavement racing with Full Throttle. Again, it is a double simulcast here tonight, all part of the CRN podcast. We got an awesome group of panel joining us for our guest tonight. Boy, I'll tell you what, Cleveland, Tennessee we go. To old school Mike Guerin of 75 Radio, the Liberty Radio Network, and Red Clay Life co-host. Mike, how's it going, buddy? How was your hump day? Mike.
Hump day, Mike. It was good, Wesley. Got back in the routine of house arrest, work from home again today, but got some great news a little while ago.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
I'll share a little bit later.
New addition to the family?
You want me to share it now?
New addition to the family?
Oh, Lord, no. I'd commit suicide. This is hot off the press.
Okay.
Mr. Kenny Slayton and Terry Lightholt, the promoters of Boyd's, have been in contact with the state of Georgia and Tennessee officials today. And we've got the green light to go back to control practicing. Stay tuned to Boyd Speedway's Facebook page and our website, boydspeedway.info. We've got some rules and precautions that they have set forth that we have to abide by, and Kenny's going to let everybody know what those are. But I'm going to smell some racing fuel and get some dirt in my eyes this weekend.
That's awesome, man. So, of course, Boyd Speedway, Ringgold, Georgia, they have been given the green light to at least have controlled practice sessions, still following, the criteria and what's best to do here with this pandemic, and I think that's awesome news. Also joining us is the co-host with yours truly of Full Throttle, which is normally on Thursday at 12 noon. This will be a simulcast, and it will air at our regular time tomorrow. It'll just be Red Clay Life and Full Throttle. To Fuquay Arena we go, the home of the Bengals, and it's Brandon White of the Daily Dispatch. Brandon, how's it going, buddy? And also Race22.com.
It's going good, Wesley. Just riding out the storm right now.
Riding out the storm. We are the riders of the storm. Gentlemen, boy, I tell you what, we have got an awesome guest panel tonight. What do you think?
Wow.
It's a great guest panel. Yeah, great guest panel. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Great guest panel. We're going to kick things off here in just a few moments, and we're going to go to the phone lines, and we're going to call up Pete Walton of the USCS, which is the United Speed Contest Sanction, the USCS Outlaw Thunder Tour, presented by Canyon Air Filters. They do 360 sprint cars. They do modified racing. They do late models. They lease racetracks for promoting events. They also do just touring shows. They've got the sprint cars, the Power Eye, rockauto.com 600 mini sprint series. Brandon, or actually Mike, they wear a lot of hats, and I think their plan is also to come to Boyd Speedway this year. I think they're on the schedule.
I believe that's correct. I have to look at it again. We've had to adjust and make so many changes, and Kenny's always on top of that. So, but I believe they're going to be out there our way.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're definitely lined up to be on the schedule, and in years past as well, and all over the Carolinas and the Midwest and the Deep South and the Southeast. And I had a privilege for 2 years being the series announcer of the USCS Sprint Car Series, and always have been able to have a good relationship with Mr. Pete and Sherry Walton, even after not working for them on a full-time status anymore. Awesome people. They are, when you look at the world of sprint car racing, you got to look, obviously, for what with the World of Outlaws and the All-Star Circuit of Champions. But if you think of 360 sprint cars, not just Emmett Hahn in the ASCS, you've got to throw the name in the hat of what Pete Walton has done with the USCS Sprint Car Series. So we're going to talk about that. And then coming up at 8:30, 8:25, somewhere around there, the Herminator himself, former NASCAR driver, former NASCAR broadcaster, brother to Rusty Wallace, Mike Wallace, the Herminator, Kenny Wallace. And he's like everybody else, Mike and Brandon. He's ready to get back to the racetrack again, but he also wants everybody to implement and follow safety.
Of course.
Yes, and safety's paramount, and that's what Kenny's going to be announcing later on tomorrow. The precautions and the social distancing, it's all got to be in place.
Well, that's good that it's been unveiled. So we're going to go to the phone lines here really, really quickly after we thank a word from Symmetry Financial Group. They're a big, proud sponsor of our coverage of CRN podcasts. We will step away, and when we come back, Pete Walton joins us next. This is a simulcast of Full Throttle and Red Clay Life on the CRN Sports Network and all of their podcast outlets. We'll mention all of them. First, a word from Symmetry Financial. Pete Walton coming up.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Some energy drinks want to scare you. Some even want to bully you around. And the others, they're just blowing smoke. Packed with vitamins B3, B5, B6, and B12, the new HiQ energy drink comes available in 4 exciting flavors. Skyberry Fusion, Apple, Coconut Fruit Punch, and Lemon Lime. Natural caffeine, no preservatives, no crash, no bull. HiQ energy drink. Wings are for birds.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Welcome back to another edition of episode 3 of the Red Clay Life podcast, as well as Full Throttle. Mike Guerin, Brandon White, I'm Wesley Outland. To the phone lines we go for our first guest of the night, the longtime promoter, 20-plus years of USCS. It is the United Sprint Car Series, now known as United Speed Contest Sanction. We go to Fayetteville, Georgia. And a man that I had the privilege to work for a couple of years, and probably one of the premier 360 wing sprint car organizations and so much more in the country, a multi 360 Sprint Car Hall of Fame member as well, and a former racer in his own right. Pete Walton, welcome to the show. How you doing, my friend? Good catching up with you today.
Well, I'm doing pretty good. You know, I ain't got the coronavirus yet, so I'm hanging in there.
So let's talk about that real quickly without going into embellishing. What is the status currently of the USCS Sprint Car Series? I know you're ready to get right back to racing action very soon, and you've ran a couple of races this year.
We ran 7 times. We got more races in than anybody in the country, I think, except maybe the UMP Modifieds. We ran more than anybody. But we're on hold like everybody else and hoping to get back racing. And I'm going to say it's going to be sometime late May before that ever happens. You know, we have, probably 10 races scheduled before then, but most of them are going to go away.
So is the plan to possibly reschedule some of these dates, Pete, or are they just going to be a scratch and then you just pick up where you left off? And I have to ask you this question. Is it looking like, as being a former announcer of the series, and it's right around Memorial Day, is it looking like the USCS Sprint Speed Weeks might be the return, possibly, of the Sprint Car Series going back in business?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. You know, we'll get back in action by then. I was watching the one of the, I believe it was on Fox News today, that they had a chart up there, and they were talking about everything was going hopefully back downhill, and they had their bottomed out date was June the 1st. So let's hope it's a little earlier than that. And, you know, we sure don't want to minimize all the people that have lost their lives out here, especially a lot of elderly people that are, well, a lot of them are race fans, you know, and we had one of the track owners down here that lost 2 sisters last week to coronavirus at Sonora Raceway, Bill Massey, and his 2 sisters passed away last week out in Douglasville, Georgia. So we've had a kind of a rough week around this area on that, and you know, it's really affected the racing and the economy. And I just hope when we get back to racing, everybody has the money to show up and sit there and watch a great race, because we've had some pretty great races already this year, and we expect it to continue.
Mike Guerin.
Well, Pete, it's an honor to have you with us tonight. Well, you've been around a little while. They call me the old man on the show, but you've been with the SCS, what, about 26 years now?
24 years, 24 season this year.
24.
Before that, I raced sprint cars for 16 years, and part of the time was after I started USCS, because we started the series basically because just wasn't any racing in the Southeast much, and got tired of going to Indiana and Ohio and Illinois and racing. and driving over to Memphis, which we still do a lot of Memphis anyway.
Yes.
But that's where my hometown is. Went to my first race at Riverside Speedway in West Memphis, Arkansas when I was 3 years old. So then